turn the club around are to blame. Craig Levein is Jeffrey's successor, and after a bright start, things are going downhill again. 6 games into the season, Hearts were third. Levein had bodied some outstanding young talent, and his new boys were living with the best.
Forward to De La Cruz. What a start! 36 seconds! Hibs are ahead!
But there have been too many bad results since, and it's harder for the Tynecastle fans to take as they watch the rise and rise of Hibs across the city. The best players have been sold as the club tried to fight a huge overdraft, estimated at £4 million. And as Levein tries to manage with a wage bill slashed by 40% since he took over, there has been no chance of meeting the wage demands of such as Wanjo. Craig Levein knew the challenge when he accepted the job at Hearts. Now with 6 defeats in his last 7 league games, knocked out of the CIS Cup by Ross County, little money to buy fresh talent and injuries to key players, he has a real battle on his hands.
Just thought we'd cheer Craig Levein up with a little resume of your 11 months in charge. Craig, a lot of people, a lot of so-called experts are having their say at the moment on what's wrong and what's right about Hearts. What's going through your mind at the moment?
Just about being as positive as I can. I think that the situation that the club's in just now has been well documented, and I've probably never done so many interviews in all my life, but it's a difficult time for the club. I think the important thing is that I'm positive, and that passes on to the players.
I remember asking you when you took the job whether you needed to be as much an accountant as a football coach. Has it turned out to be much more serious than you thought in terms of the cuts you've had to make?
No, I knew what cuts I had to make, and it was always going to be extremely difficult. And I thought for a spell that we'd got away with it, you know, from the point of view that we managed to keep everybody fit for most of the last season. But unfortunately this season we've started off and Robert Tomaszek and Scott Severin are missing from our midfield area, which just causes a few problems.
On the subject of the money, Craig, I mean, it's a staggering statistic that by the end of the season the wage bill will have had 40% removed from it.
Yeah, but I think it was necessary. I think we made an attempt a couple of years back to try and compete with Celtic and Rangers, and I think you can compete with them, but certainly not financially, and I think that's a mistake that we made.
I think we all sympathise with you, but I've certainly got somebody here that does sympathise, and he knows all about it as well, because he played for Hearts. He was the manager of Hearts, Sandy Clark. Sandy.
Hi, Craig.
Hi, Sandy.
I was actually at your game last week, Craig, as you know, and well, obviously you're going through a hard time at the moment as a club. I didn't think you played badly. I thought Livingston deserved so much credit for how well they played, and I think if you get into today's game with the same type of spirit and really belief, then you'll do okay. But tell me, Craig, how's the kind of mood within the players, within the dressing room?
Sandy's been great. You know, this week we've had, you know what it's like sometimes yourself, and you're involved in clubs and situations as a player where things aren't going well. I think sometimes you need to sit down and talk about it, and we've done that both Monday and Tuesday this week. I've had Sunday and Monday. This was a great response from the players. We've been, you know, the mood in training has been fantastic. And as I said yesterday, though, you don't get 3 points for the mood in training being fantastic. It's up to myself and the players to prove to everybody that we've turned the corner.
Craig, most home games this season recently certainly have been accompanied by some sort of protest outside, usually aimed towards Chris Robinson. It must be difficult to separate the players from that sort of situation.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says, it does have an effect in the dressing room and on the park. Players become nervous, and when players are nervous, you don't play as well as they possibly can do. I mean, I can completely understand the frustration of the supporters, because their team isn't winning every week, and when you pay your season ticket money, you want your team to go out in the park and win. All I can assure them is that we're doing our very best just now. Players will be working extremely hard for them today, and we're looking to get a home victory.
Craig, it must annoy you about the stick you were taking after appointing John Gagan to cheer up the boys before the Hibs game. I mean, your choice of after dinner speaker might be wrong, but I mean, that was a good idea, wasn't it?
Well, it worked for us at the end of last season. We had a very young squad going to Easter Road last time we played Hibs before the recent game, and we got nothing each draw with an extremely young team. I felt that was a positive, and I think that the idea was to do the same sort of thing again. And I thought the report was I know it was probably tongue-in-cheek and having a bit of a laugh, but I felt it was having a pop at me, and for something I don't think was the wrong thing to do.
I think Chick there, Craig, was just really basically trying to tell you that he was available for the next gig, and he works a lot cheaper than John Gagan. You were quoted in the paper today as saying about Antti Niemi, he's too good a goalkeeper to remain here much longer. Was that what you said? I mean, is it simply a matter of time before you've got to get him off the wage bill as well?
Well, I've read a lot of things in the papers today that I was supposed to have said, and you know, Antti Niemi's situation is something that's a bridge that we'll cross when it comes along, if it comes along. I've been fielding questions about Antti Niemi for almost a year now. We've had one offer from Charlton that the club turned down because it was well below what we valued the player at. And I can't really say an awful lot more about that just now.
Maybe a taped answering message would deal with that one for the future, because you've had to answer it every few weeks, haven't you?
Yeah, it seems like that. When you've got a player of the quality of Antti Niemi, you're going to have to field questions like that.
Jim, questions?
Text message flying in. Craig Smith is saying, as a Hearts fan, I want to ask Craig why Hearts are the best goalie in the UK. We've just been talking about him, but he can't keep clean sheets. And there's another saying that he thinks Craig, perhaps there's a lack of motivation in the squad.
Well, I think that there's a lack of confidence in the squad. I think that there's no doubt about that. I think that we've got a number of young players who haven't been in this position before. And it's an opportunity for older players to rally around and to pull us through. And that's exactly what's required in these sort of situations. As I said, I've been involved in them as a player myself and understand how difficult it is.
And when you look, Craig, at the statistics for the recent results, obviously you've lost 7 out of your last 8, and it's not difficult to imagine how the confidence does drip away.
That's right, but all it needs is a victory. That's all we need. We need to get a victory and things will turn round. I know it, the players know it. And what we're looking for today is for our supporters to come here believing, as we do, that we can win the game, to get right behind us from the start of the game and give us every backing.
Okay, well, thanks very much indeed for joining us, and I think we all wish you well, Craig. And hopefully if I make it along the M8, I'll actually see you for this afternoon's game. You might have to hold kick-off up for me, but we'll see how we get on. Thanks for that.
Thank you.